Benjamin Earl King, September 28, 1938 to May 1, 2015, known as Ben E. King, is an American soul and R&B singer. He is perhaps best known as the singer and composer of Stand By Me, a U.S. top 10 hit in both 1961 and later in 1986, when it was used as the theme to the film of the same name, a number 1 hit in the UK in 1987, and number 25 on the RIAA's list of songs of the century, and as one of the principal lead singers of the R&B vocal group The Drifters. King was born Benjamin Earl Nelson on September 28, 1938 in Henderson, North Carolina 3, and moved to Harlem, New York, at age 9. Career. In 1958, King, still using his birth name, joined a doo-wop group called the Five Crowns. Later in 1958, the Drifters' manager George Treadwell fired the members of the original Drifters, and replaced them with the Five Crowns. King had a string of R&B hits with the group on Atlantic Records. He co-wrote and sang lead on the first Atlantic hit by the new version of the Drifters, There Goes My Baby, 1959. He also sang lead on a succession of hits by the team of Doc Pomus and Mort Shuman, including Save the Last Dance for Me, This Magic Moment, and I Count the Tears. 3 King only recorded 13 songs with the Drifters, 2 backing other lead singers and 11 lead vocal performances, including a non-single called Temptation, later redone by Drifters vocalist Johnny Moore. The last of the King-led Drifters singles to be released was Sometimes I Wonder, which was recorded May 19, 1960, but not issued until June 1962. Due to a contract dispute with Treadwell in which King and his manager, Lover Patterson, demanded that King be given a salary increase and a fair share of royalties, King never again performed with the Drifters on tour or on television. He would only record with the group until a suitable replacement could be found. On television, fellow Drifters member Charlie Thomas usually lip-synced the songs that King had recorded with the Drifters. In May 1960, King left the Drifters, assuming the more memorable stage name Ben E. King in preparation for a successful solo career. Remaining with Atlantic Records on its Atco imprint, King scored his first solo hit with the ballad Spanish Harlem, 1961. His next single, Stand By Me, written with Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller, ultimately would be voted as one of the songs of the century by the Recording Industry Association of America. Stand By Me, There Goes My Baby, and Spanish Harlem were named as 3 of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's 500 songs that shaped rock and roll, and each of those records plus Save the Last Dance for Me has earned a Grammy Hall of Fame award. King's other well-known songs include Don't Play That Song, You Lied, Amor, 7 Letters, How Can I Forget, On the Horizon, Young Boy Blues, First Taste of Love, Here Comes the Night, Ecstasy, and That's When It Hurts. In the summer of 1963, King had a top 30 hit with I, Who Have Nothing, which reached the top 10 on New York's radio station, WMCA. King's records continued to place well on the Billboard Hot 100 chart until 1965. British pop bands began to dominate the pop music scene, but King still continued to make R&B hits, including What Is Soul? 1966, Tears, 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 1967, and Supernatural Thing, 1975. A 1986 reissue of Stand By Me followed the song's use as the theme song to the movie Stand By Me and re-entered the Billboard Top 10 after a 25-year absence. In 1990, King and Bo Diddley, along with Doug Lazy, recorded a revamped hip-hop version of the Monotones' 1958 hit song Book of Love for the soundtrack of the movie Book of Love. He also recorded a children's album, I Have Songs in My Pocket, written and produced by children's music artist Bobby Susser in 1998, which won the Early Childhood News Director's Choice Award and Dr. Toy/the Institute for Childhood Resources Award. King performed Stand By Me on The Late Show with David Letterman in 2007. Ahmet Ertegun said, King is one of the greatest singers in the history of rock and roll and rhythm and blues. As a drifter and as a solo artist, King had achieved 5 number 1 hits, There Goes My Baby, Save the Last Dance for Me, Stand By Me, Supernatural Thing, and the 1986 reissue of Stand By Me. He also earned 12 top 10 hits and 26 top 40 hits from 1959 to 1986. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a drifter. He has also been nominated as a solo artist. King's I, Who Have Nothing, was selected for the Sopranos Peppers and Eggs soundtrack CD, 2001. King was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame in 2009. On March 27, 2012, the Songwriters Hall of Fame announced that Stand By Me would receive its 2012 Towering Song Award and that King would be honored with the 2012 Towering Performance Award for his recording of the song. Current activities. Currently, King is active in his charitable foundation, the Stand By Me Foundation. He has been a resident of Teaneck, New Jersey, since the late 1960s. King performed Stand By Me during a televised tribute to late comedian George Carlin, as he was one of Carlin's favorite artists. On November 11, 2010, he performed Stand By Me on the Latin Grammys with Prince Royce. In 2013 he was still active, completing a tour of the UK. Death. R&B and soul singer Ben E. King, best known for the classic song Stand By Me, has died at the age of 76.